Fall in New England, the cool, crisp air. I feel it in my bones. Came early this year, but that's okay. Our favorite time of year, because that means hunting season. Right, Gunner? Gunner? Where is that dog? Are you taking the day off? Here. Good Lord. Attaboy. Okay. We'll find some birds out here, I'm sure. Hello there. I'm Major Anxiety. And what you just witnessed, besides a slightly corny narrative, was a much more natural and immersive experience for those of us who enjoy hunting with dogs, both in Call of the Wild and in real life. As a PC gamer, I really dislike command wheels in games. They're clunky to use, and I'm always clicking on the wrong command. Even worse, it takes away my focus from what's going on around me in the game. I miss important clues, or just the beautiful scenery that Expansive Worlds has created for us. If you're a PC gamer like me and want to break free of your dog command wheel chains, I'll show you how to set this up in 3 easy steps. To my console brothers and sisters, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure this won't work for you. I'm not a console expert, but maybe there is a way, and this will inspire you to figure it out. Without further ado, here are those 3 easy steps. Step 1. Set keybinds for the 7 dog commands in game. Step 2. Install a voice to keyboard app. If you have one already, you're already ahead of the game. Step 3. Create voice commands in your app that match the keybinds in the game. Let's look at each step in detail. Step 1. Set your key bindings in the game. In the key bindings section of the settings menu, there is a dog command section with 7 available commands to be mapped. The first 5 of these commands, sit, stay, lay down, heel, and praise, are commonplace commands for working with your dog, whether it be a hunting dog or just a pet, while the last 2 are for the specific jobs that the dog has. This video is not really intended to be a comprehensive dog guide for Call of the Wild, but I think a quick overview of what we're even talking about would be helpful as we get to the other steps and start configuring the software. There are 3 breeds within the Call of the Wild today. Each of them has a unique primary job. Labradors are retrievers. The German Shorthair Pointer, they are pointers. And the Bloodhounds, they are trackers. That's their primary job. When any dog reaches level 15 of their primary job, then that unlocks the potential for them to decide to be an expert dog. So you have to be level 15 in your primary job, and then you can pick one of the other 2 breeds' primary jobs as your secondary job for your dog. So if you have a maxed out retrieving lab, you can make them as a secondary job. They can be a pointer or a tracker. For the German Short-Haired Pointer, once they reach level 15 in the pointer, they can have a secondary job as a retriever or tracker. And lastly, with the Bloodhound, once they reach level 15 in the tracker, they can pick up the retriever or pointer as their secondary jobs. This shot shows the secondary jobs that I picked for each of my 3 dogs. And that's just personal choice. You really need to consider how you want to use them, what combination makes sense for the way that you want to hunt in this game. You know, what are you going to have the most fun doing? You only get to pick once, so choose wisely. In step 2, you need to pick a voice to keyboard app, voice recognition to keyboard input, and there are a number of options available. Me, I chose Voice Attack. There are both a paid and a free version. With the paid version, you have unlimited profiles and commands. The demo version or the free version, you get one profile and 19 commands. Both of these versions are available on Steam. I'm sure there are a ton of other options available out there for this kind of software. I've got two that I'll just do a quick listing for. I don't know much about them, but just to give you a couple other choices. Okay, we're almost there. Last step, step 3. This is where we take and we actually decide what voice commands we want to use. Configure the software so that it sends the appropriate keystrokes back to the game. So first we have some decisions to make. We know we have the 5 common commands. We know we have what their bindings are that we established in the game. But what English words or commands do we want to use for each of those 5 commands? Depending on where you live, what kind of dogs you hunt over, people use different words based on, whether you're hunting with a pointing dog or a retriever. And so what I've tried to do is to select some English commands that I'm familiar with so that multiple words, depending on what you're used to, can be used to press those keys virtually. So for sit, I use sit and hup. For stay, I use stay and whoa. Lay down, yeah, everybody uses down. Heel. Now, you really don't heel the dog in this game because normally if you heel a dog, it's going to come all the way back to you and then kind of come around and stand next to you by your leg. That doesn't happen in this game with any of the breeds. So I'm pretty much using heel for come and here. It's a recall. So I'm using heel, come, and here. Again, I'm familiar with people using all of those. And then for praise, you could have a boy dog or a girl dog. So I made a couple of gender options, and I'm just picking attaboy and attagirl. The last 2 commands are used for the dog's primary and possibly secondary job when they become an expert dog and can learn another skill set. The English command has to be exclusive to either the primary job or the secondary job. The trick is to choose words that make sense regardless of what that job is. OK and break work as primary job commands for all 3 breeds. They make sense. I use OK to invoke the primary job command in most cases, and only use break as a follow-up primary command for the pointer when he's on point and I want him to flush the target. Find 'em makes sense for all 3 breeds as a secondary job command. I only use fetch for a dog like my German Short-Haired Pointer that is a secondary job as a retriever, and I'm sending him to go out and pick something up. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and build these commands into whatever app we've chosen to use for the voice recognition and to key press. As mentioned earlier, I chose voice attack, and so I'm going to give you a quick little overview of how I did that or do that within that application. From the voice attack main window, click the Edit Profile button to actually create your commands. As you can see in this window, I've created 7 categories to match the 7 command keybinds in game. I've also created multiple commands for each category or key binding recommended earlier in this video. Let's create one more command that I can use on my pointer in game. It'll be called Let's Go, and I can use that when I want him to start hunting. Click on the new command, type in Let's Go. Then we hit the keybind that we want to use for it, which is the home key for the primary dog command. Click OK. Click OK again. And assign it a category. Primary dog command. And click OK. And that's it. You've just created a new command. Time to go hunting. So everything's configured. You need to leave your app running in the background while you're playing so that it's, doing its thing while we're in game. And with that, let's take it for a test drive. Got my best boy Gunner here. Sit. All right. One of the things that's important to understand, there are a few things that still can't be controlled with the dogs on, by voice. And this is one of them. There are basically four things for the pointer, three things for all dogs. And the dog interaction wheel for things that make them happy and love you needs to be done up close. Now, that's really not a problem because that can be done during a break or like this before heading out. So you interact with the wheel. And if you want to pet or play or give a treat to your dog, you have to do that in close proximity. So there's no way to map those right yet. Maybe they'll add some buttons in for that. So let's get his. Oh, we're in best friend mode now. Attaboy. The other one that's unique to the pointer, you don't have to be in close proximity to, but you do still have to use the dog command wheel, and that's to set the size of the game that they're going to point. So let me step away from him for a minute. I'm going to hit the B button, and this is the command I'm talking about, where you pick small, medium, or large. Now this also, I usually set it before we head out. You can, though, set that on the fly, but if you're changing zones on the map, that might be a good time to do it. You're kind of taking a pause. So he's already gone out and started searching. So I'll just fast forward until there's something to shoot. All right, what's he sneaking up on? Okay, he's found a pheasant. And of course, it's running. It's going to be a tough catch here, bub. It's very alert. I'm going to let him wait for a minute until that bird calms down. All right, so it went from alert to attentive. He's pointing. I'm going to give him the command. His secondary, or excuse me, the second command for his first one, which is to flush him. Break. Good Lord. I can't hit anything. So we'll see if he can find it. Fetch. Attaboy. So after a rough start, not a bad little point, flush, and retrieve by my German short hair. I'm going to take you over the salt marsh, and we'll catch up with McGee and let him retrieve a duck or two, and then pop over to Layton Lakes and let him track. So we are here with McGee down in the marshlands and in Salzwiesen. We are got a duck set out here with some fair Guinness ducks and gadwalls. I got a little blind here. Got the electronic collar. We're going to see if we can't get him something to retrieve. Down. Attaboy. Oh, they're landing in the decoys. McGee's still doing what he was told, taking a little nap. Attaboy. We'll just blast a few in the water here. Hopefully. That woke you up, didn't it? Okay. Hopefully I hit something for him. I think there's one there. Attaboy. And I got two. Maybe even a third. I did. Okay. Don't shake the water off. You're going back in it. So anyway, you can see how interactive and fun it is to do this with voice rather than the mouse wheel. Attaboy. He'll make you a nice pile of ducks. The more you shoot, the bigger the pile will get. You don't actually have to keep sending. Where are you going? Oh, you're doing a victory lap? Is that it? You're such a lab. There's one right there. Go get that. Okay, so we'll clean this mess up and then we'll take him over to show him tracking. I'm sure I'll wound something over on Layton Lake. See you there. Down. I don't want you wreaking havoc out here. Let me get in the tree stand. See what we've got. Attaboy. So, a nice little buck. Another one coming in, up to 263. So I'm going to take a shot with the... I'm going to take a shot at both of these with the 306, 30-06. Oh, there's a bear too. I didn't notice where the bear went. There it is. That one I know I hit. Is it down? The bear's gonna be able to be tracked. Although it's definitely going down. All right, McGee. Time to get to work. Heel. We picked up those two bull elk. They weren't as far away as I thought. And so we're going after the bear. He did run quite a ways. So hopefully McGee can find him. Find him. All right, that worked out better. Find him. There was the track. Attaboy. So you can see he's pretty handy. He'll go out and swim and get ducks. He'll find my wounded game. Not quite as well as the bloodhound, because he has to be like on the trail. Attaboy. Well, I think that'll do it for this episode. I hope you found it useful. You're probably thinking, this guy's crazy. He talks to virtual dogs. Why, yes. Yes, I am. I hope you found it entertaining and fun. And happy hunting.